Hey guys, Travis here. Week 8 of the summer split of the LCS, joined by ZionSpartan and Team Coast. You guys just beat CLG and what was just kind of like this uh, painful game to watch. It was so long, so little action, but it was very well played on your guys' part. What was your strategy going into that game?
It seems like that CLG game turns out how all of our CLG games usually go. Like that, playing that game felt exactly like how we played them 4 weeks ago when I was on Shen and they let us get dragons, they let us get barons, and then we just slowly pushed them in and just choked like their farm and just their resources and ended the game. Like it wasn't really like back and forth action. It was just us like slowly taking over the map, and that's what usually happens in our matches against CLG because they usually just like to farm and they don't really care as much for objectives, and we kind of take advantage of that.
Do you think that that also has anything to do with the comps, or is it literally just like the two different playstyles?
I think it's just the two different play styles. Like I feel like no matter what comp we're running and what comp CLG is running, the game will kind of go the same way. They'll try to farm it out. We'll try to like push them in, push objectives, which is which is the best way to end the game.
So the casters were commenting on how CLG, Doublelift, I mean, ongoing theme, of course, but he was the big threat in that game. And there was a conversation that was had about just like, okay, they need to let CLG needs to let Doublelift get to this point, and then he'll be a huge threat against them. Did you guys identify that? Did you look at him as like what you needed to take out?
Yeah, definitely. My team was like, we need to end the game. Let's not let Doublelift get fed. And then I died him that one time. Everybody's like, gosh, please no. Let's just end this game, go straight to their base and finish it before he gets too fed. And that was kind of like the overarching thought of our team. We're like, let's not let Doublelift get too fed and then carry the team. So yeah, we got there. Maybe 10, 15 minutes later, he could have been able to carry, but at that point, he wasn't strong enough. So we ended it safe.
The 1v1 that you mentioned against you in Doublelift ended up barely coming out ahead of that. What happened there? Was that, did you just expect that you could take him and you couldn't, or did you misplay, or what happened?
Yeah, basically. I think it was partially misplay and just me going in when I shouldn't have. Like, I could have beaten him 1v1 if I played it better, but why take the risk of doing the 1v1 when you can just end the game? So that's kind of like a misplay and just a bad thought.
Well, it's okay. I mean, it was so close it could have gone either way, it seemed, either way. You guys had, I know that the statistic that Alex Penn pointed out on the show was that you guys had lost 6 of your last 7 games. The statistic you just gave me was we ended a 6-game losing streak by winning to these 2 games. So what's happening on Coast to sort of turn that around?
Yeah, about the Alex Penn thing, I like to kind of look things on the bright side. Let's not look at the 6 out of 7 losses. Look at the 2-win streak now, and I don't know. We've just been taking the game more seriously. Like, we kind of got the gaming house, but it's not about getting the gaming house. It's how you use the gaming house. And we hadn't been using it as effectively as we could have. And now we're, like, putting in a lot more time. We're getting a lot more serious because we realize how close relegation is and how our dreams can just come to a halt.
Elimination tweeted during that game, or right towards the end, that he felt as though you guys had much better picks and bans and also had much better performance in the game, and that he expected you guys to be a pretty strong opponent at playoffs. Do you expect to be in that place as well? Or do you think that this nice little like ascent that you guys are making is going to carry you into playoffs?
Yeah, we've always been one of those teams where it's like, hey, we're losing a lot. Let's stop doing that. Like last play, we're like 2-12. I don't even remember what was going through my mind then, but I just remember being at playoffs against TSM in the finals, and we obviously want to repeat that, make it back to the playoff finals, and when it comes to like grind time, when like it's like there's only a couple weeks left, we really pick up our game, and I'm pretty confident in our team and my teammates to just win.
You think you guys perform really well under pressure?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the most important things because it doesn't matter how good you are, it's how well you can perform under pressure because that's when the games really count.
All right. So other than that, anything that you can give me on what Team Coast is doing? Like what you said that there's some changes you made. Like, are you guys doing more research? Are you doing more practice? Like, what's happening behind the scenes?
I wouldn't want to give away too much, but just in general, like more solo queue because honestly, like people might say solo queue isn't good. Like Rain Man was like, "Hey TSM, let's play solo queue all the time." There's some truth to that because if you keep playing the game, because you can't always do team practice. Team practice gets tiring, all the calls and stuff. You need to do some solo queue to keep your mechanics up, keep your individual plays up. And it's good to practice like not doing bad things, like having bad habits during solo queue games because it's so easy to just like be greedy and things like that.
Oh, I do need to ask about the technical difficulties that were in that game because there was about 15 minutes of pause time, and it seemed to be focused on you. What was happening there behind the scenes?
For some reason, the computer was just having latency issues, so we just had to switch it out, and they had to get that fixed up, so that took a while.
Very good. Whenever that happens, does that affect you at all, or are you just sort of like, all right, I got this. It doesn't bother you too much?
It kind of takes you out of the game, but technically when there's a pause, you're not supposed to talk about the game. But since the pause was so long, I think that was quite possibly the longest pause ever in the LCS.
Well, at least in North America. Yeah, EU has had some longer pauses, but NA.
Yeah, for NA. I can't talk about EU. But when there's pauses that long, you can finally start talking about strategy, so that kind of gets you back into the game. But, yeah, short pauses can kind of, like, break your, like, focus on the game, which is kind of detrimental.
All right, so, wrapping up the interview, you have any shout-outs, plugs you want to make here?
Yeah, shout out to my friends and family for being really supportive. Shout out to our sponsors, Corsair, CyberPower PC, Esports University, and shout out to my teammates for playing great today.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on your win. Best of luck continuing that win streak and ignoring the losing streak. For everyone, this is Travis. On day 1 of week 8 of the LCS, you can check out the rest of our coverage at GameSpot.com/LCS.